Hello everyone, welcome to RNG University. So today I have a quest for playing white and green spells, and instead of just going ahead and play the tried and true enchantment deck that I hate so much, I thought about brewing my own deck. And last time I was trying to do Mirror Box with the Meathook Massacre. This time I thought, hey, the Meathook Massacre wasn't really the problem. The problem was to get a lot of tempo on board so that I don't die to like early to aggro decks or tempo decks that kind of overwhelm me over time. So instead, I thought about I'm still going to use the Mirror Box and still going to use Thalia, but what if I run a human deck? And with that, I thought about putting Catilda, Dawnheart Prime, which basically also serve as a mass-producing mana dork for me. And that will help me kind of ramp out the Mirror Box because Thalia does tax it a little bit. Alright, so with that shell, I've come with a bunch of different humans. Starting with the Hopeful Initiate, obviously for a human deck, you have to have that. I thought about sticking in a Malevolent Hermit just to stop a few of the counter spells that will stop my big game play, like Mirror Box, like Adeline. And also, this combo with Thalia really just stops any sort of non-creature types of decks in their track. I also put in 2 Sten, Paranoid Partisan, which I think is a fairly sort of janky card to include, but it might serve to be a good purpose because at the very beginning, right, I can make it so that my humans cost 1 less, and if I needed to and have extra mana, I can maybe cycle, or not cycle, but blink it to make my artifacts cost less to play the Mirror Box. Obviously, with the Mirror Box, these legendary creatures can come in droves onto the board, and that seems like a fun idea. Obviously, Adeline, because Adeline's good. I also put in 2 King Darian because he can make my creature tokens indestructible, which is very important from the Adeline. But he also can make creature tokens, which can then help me ramp with Catilda. And I also have 2 Tauren to do the exact same thing. I'm putting 2 each because apparently I have 2 of each in my collection. I do think about maybe running 4 Tauren or running 4 King Darian, seeing which one does better. But right now it's just 2 of each because they both generate tokens, and I don't want to craft them because I don't know which one is the better one. For Lagrella instead of for Brutal Cathar, because Lagrella also can help remove something on our side to kind of pump them if I don't know, he or she gets removed. So that might be a good effect compared to Brutal Cathar, which is just always your opponent removes it and they get their things back. So it is legendary, but with the Mirror Box, we might be able to get multiple Lagrellas and really trick our opponent, right? Imagine if we remove a Lagrella with a Lagrella. What is our opponent going to do? Remove our Lagrella just to get another Lagrella back? It's a fun idea. Alright, too late to rest. Human deck, you should definitely have this card. It's insane. Whenever a human dies, you draw a card. We got a bunch of human tokens, right? This creates human token, Adeline, King Darian, and Tauren all create human tokens. So it doesn't say non-token humans. Whenever a human dies, we get to draw a card. This is like a replacement of the Welcoming Vampire for humans, not vampires. Alright, and then of course, I talk about this card as to be very good against mono blue. The Sarthes Vampire's Fang. Amazing card if you can land it, right? 4-drop, it's not the highest mana cost in the world, but once you land it, all your untapped creatures have hexproof, and your opponent basically cannot target your untapped creature if they play mono blue. They are stuck. So that's why this is in play. I don't have no flyers here, so that's probably the biggest problem in the deck. I can get a flyer from the benevolent guys, but then it doesn't get pumped from any of the human effects, so it's not the best in the world. So we'll have to try to gain life out of that or try to remove it with Lagrella. And then we have about 24 lands, I believe. 24 lands. The usual number, and the usual counts for what kind of land we have, but the only difference is I'm running 4 Plaza of Heroes. Almost half the deck is legendary creatures, so Plaza of Heroes is definitely going to shine in producing mana of the color that we want. One thing to keep in mind is something that when I was looking at it, I feel like I first misread it. Catilda does not make your creature mana dorks. They make your creature, or they make a creature mana, humans mana dorks, but not Birds of Paradise. It makes them tap for any mana that this creature's color, which means that the Benevolent Hermit or Malevolent Hermit can only tap for blue. Thalia can only tap for white, but Catilda can tap for white and green. Things of that nature, something to keep track of. I think this deck has potential. Again, a lot of my decks, I don't think they are fine-tuned enough to be the best, but I do think there is enough potential. Oh, I gotta cancel out of this because I think that was standard play. I want to go to standard rank and then immediately rank down. That's my forte. So we'll come here, go to ranked, and then we'll play standard ranked with the bent humans. Another bent humans. The humans in the mirror. No bent this time, even though it's technically bent, but the only blue I'm running is the Malevolent Hermit, Malevolent Geist. I think that's the flip card, and then the Lagrella. Those are the only two blue cards that are of significance. Obviously, we have some blue mana, but hey, we go first. That's very nice, and we have 2 drops. So let's do the thing. All right, we're gonna drop the Dream Root Cascade first because we have no 1-drop. And here comes our Thalia. We'll take the 1, that's totally fine. Thalia is a very good card. Thought about playing a Gonjo there to not take the 1, but maybe we'll draw a land and a Gonjo will have an effect. Blood Tide Harvester. Okay, so now what should we do? I will play the Gonjo here. So the idea is we can play Catilda and then use Thalia to help play Sten. That's a good idea. So here we'll drop Catilda. And then we'll drop Sten, auto pay, and we'll choose, let's see, we can choose anything other than creature or land. Oh, well, artifact's always good. I don't know why I thought I can choose creatures. So you can't make creatures cost less. It does make our box cost less, which is very good. I wonder if he's gonna meat hook us for 1. Okay, so we can play a King Darien here to pump all of our other creatures, or we can hold our land open to pump with Catilda, since we do have 4 mana open. But I'm pretty sure the opponent will be able to remove one of our cards. I doubt he's going to block this. But we have 2 Catilda, so if he blocks, it's actually good for us. We only have a Thalia played. Okay, so I guess I misread Sten. I thought it was any type, but not creatures apparently. Now he's gonna attack regardless, and that means our King Darien. I can't. Gotta go to the block. Our King Darien's gonna take 1 for the team. So he has enough to meat hook for 3. So if he meat hooks for 3, the board gets cleaned. We will exile Sten out. Wait. Oh, I don't have haste. That's why. Okay, well he meat hooks for 3. Let's sacrifice our King Darien. So, oh, it's already in play. I guess it doesn't matter. I should have sacrificed it before it came into play. Bit of a misplay there. But we will just reload. Leon.
A fight? And you think you can win?
We'll sack our Catilda because King Darien is a engine on his own. That's very good. Let's attack first. See if he has any blockers or anything to protect his Liliana. He does not. And because he doesn't want to protect it, we will Lagrella his reflection. Do we want to Lagrella the King Darien? No, we do not, because we can sacrifice it to Lagrella to give it indestructible and hexproof. Might be important here. Second Fable. That's no fun for us. nothing else we're gonna do on our turn, on their turn, so we'll pass to our turn. It's probably more important to drop our land than hold it in hand because Liliana's just gonna make us discard it. We will just full swing first. The blocks don't matter too much. We can deal some damage. And should he attack, we will make a human to block it. Better than nothing. Okay, I guess we'll make a human to eat this bulk. He gets a mana. Not fun for us, but happens to happen. Adeline is insanely good. Okay, so we want to keep this land open, right? Adeline costs 3. Actually, keeping this land open doesn't do anything because it costs more than 3 to activate, so we'll just Adeline it out. I always forget King Darian's creature tokens get hexproof indestructible, not creatures. So it will not protect these, but it will protect whatever Adeline summons out. It's got a cut down. Can't really use it on anything except his own creature, I guess. We're not in a commanding lead because they have a lot of cards in hand, but we are enough of a lead on the board that threatens lethal. And at least his Kiki-Jiki does not have an instant haste right now, so we don't have to worry too much about any copy effects off the bat. Alright, he's attacking for a big meat hook. If he gets 2 of these, he could meat hook for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we block, he still has to meat hook for 4. Which gives him a mana open. Is it more important to block? Or let him meat hook for 5? We'll let him meat hook for 5. It's going to happen, but this is slightly better, I guess. Yep. Because he was going to do it anyways. We can sacrifice this to give this hexproof indestructible. Not sure if that mattered too much. But yeah, this is not good for us because he'll get his Fable back. Unfortunately, we didn't get our temple plays out of the way early game, and they kill our Thalia. If it wasn't for killing our Thalia, we might have had a chance. Now we just Lagrella second time. Take out that. Gone forever. But now they're in a commanding lead because they have so many cards in hand. There's nothing we can do about that. Pretty sure we just lose this game. That Jund is really good against what we have. We're just a creature.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit when we win. Sacrifices must be made.
We're probably gonna top that land here, so I don't think anything can help us out of this. Yep, top that land. So GG.
And you lose everything.
It was unfortunate. They had a removal for Thalia that we could not kind of go around. At least I don't think we could have on that turn. Do we have a Lagrella already? Anyways, that's the first game, so not a big bummer, but definitely wasn't fun to lose. Okay, now we're playing against Cosmic Light. I think a good sort of a gauge of how good you are as a player in this game is how many times you get to go first. And it's not what you think. The more times you get to go first, the worse of a player basically Magic is saying you are. Alright, Plaza of Heroes should be able to help us play the Sten, Paranoid Partisan. Now we can play either Tauren or Lay to Waste. Lay to Waste is such a good card. Stand is okay. I'm not sure if 2-offs are necessary in this case. He's got 1 land open, so full swing first. Get our training on. And... This is iffy, but I guess being on the board is better. And with one land, he can't really spell pierce a creature. If he has a spell pierce. It's an Esper deck. Wonder if he's got something going on. A removal? What would he remove? Hopeful? Sten? Torn? They're all kind of fine removals. Okay, so he's got no removals so far, and I guess King Darien is pretty important to get out for more damage. He might be able to counter us. So, I mean, having a lay to waste, being countered, isn't that important? This is tricky though. Having a lay to waste, being countered means we can get out 6 damage. But having a King Darien out means that we can get out 9 damage. Only if it doesn't get countered. So we're gonna lay to waste, I think. Trying to trick out a counter spell first to see what he does. Oh, he's thinking very hard. He was emoting a lot, but as soon as it's his turn to think, I guess his brain is going into overdrive here. 4 mana is probably the depopulate turn, so having King Darien now just means that it's going to eat the depopulate. I mean, I can't even train anything, so yeah, I don't want the Hopeful Initiate out to eat the depopulate since it doesn't do much, but I guess it does help us, or we do get to draw a card, so no. There's no need. If he's going to depopulate, he will depopulate the board. Tenacious Underdog. Haven't you gotten the memo that that is a terrible card? Alright, so if we have King Darien out, he's probably just going to counter it. And then we're just eating a blocker here. No. Let's have the Hermit. Oh, having the Hermit out before we attack is kind of pointless. So, we'll see what he does. It's going to block something, right? Okay. Okay. It's not really a clean block anywhere, and, you know, none of the creatures on board matter too much since I was ready to eat a Depopulate. Okay, so he's got Soldier, Resolute, Reinforcement. It doesn't really matter which one I deal damage to first. They're all going to die. And our Tauren's going to die. That's unfortunate. I guess the call to play Malevolent Hermit out first would have mattered a little bit because... Yeah, I don't have a blue right now, so... His Field Clean is just going to kill my Hermit anyway. Maybe he doesn't know that. Let's see if he knows that. Shieldred. Ooh, that's a scary card. Alright, get our King Darien. Buff the board here. Let's see what he does. He's on 4 lands. He can't depopulate over a Malevolent Hermit. He's on 5 lands now. He could depopulate. I don't think there's a 3 mana field. Oh, there is a 3 mana field, I guess. Graveyard Trespasser. Can't stop that. He's gonna see something on my board or on my graveyard. Yep. Good choice. Okay, so Shieldred's a bit annoying, but if we attack with both, he can't attack. He cannot block both. He'll take 3. Is he going? He's just going to block the 3/4, and then we're going to be left with a 3/4. So it's just getting rid of a creature on our board. It's not really a point to that. He's trying to gain life out of this. our draw has not been the best. After the early game drops. Early game drops were decent. Really, it's tricky to play around with our King Darian. Rafine is not good for us if he attacks. But I guess if he attacks, we got chump blockers. Wow, he's attacking with both. I guess he gains life with Shieldred, so he's daring to attack with both. And he's pumping the Graveyard Glutton. Maybe the Sten wasn't the best inclusion in the deck. I haven't seen it being performing too well. Of course, our opponent just net deck, so we gotta activate this for sure. Okay, so this is a 2-2. This is a 3-2. We can come together and block Shieldred. And this is a 2-3 and 3-4, and that does not do anything. So. Double 3/4s does come together and kill the Graveyard Glutton. But then we lose our King Darian. If we lose our King Darian, we lose our King Darian. Depending on how he wants to do this. Okay, so... Does he have a removal for the Hermit? No, he's just gonna take the damage. Well, I guess that happened. Drop a land. Title.
The system can't fix everything. Now this is a juicy secret.
It is quite a juicy secret for sure. So, Thalia. Going for the damage and the training. You only block one, so it's going to take 2. It's better than nothing, and now I'll play the second Malevolent Hermit. Taking a lot of damage here. Can't block the Rafine, but it's only one attacker. So we're taking... Oh, we're taking a lot with second Shieldred out there. Not sure what we can do now. If we draw Lagrella, that would really help, but other than that, I'm not really sure what else is there. Right, we're taking 2 this turn. We'll go down to 4.
I'll be taking that now.
Drawing land doesn't help. Oh, this is gonna make me take another damage, huh? I need a blocker. Okay. So this is not going to end well. I'm just gonna quit. I'm at 3, and the next time I draw, I'll go down to 1, which means that any 1 damage getting through will kill me. It's disheartening when our deck is tuned and we cannot beat the meta. I mean, this is what happens when you try to brew deck and everyone just go online and copy a deck they find. Alright, so I guess the Partisan is the weak part of the deck. And King Darian, I really like it. It gives all your other creatures +1/+1. Tauren is also, maybe I misplayed that game where I should have played the Malevolent Hermit first to get a 1/1 trainer. But even then, I'm not sure. So we have 2 more space to add 2 more humans in our bent deck. Let's see what other humans we can get. So I was really trying to add a legendary human because of the mirror box, but I really didn't see the legend rule play too big of an effect in any of the games that we play so far. So maybe 2 more Brutal Cathar will be a good answer to the everyone plays Shieldred meta. But I don't really like Brutal Cathar. It feels like our opponent just kind of gets around that by removing the Cathar, and they'll just get back whatever we try to exile. So that's disheartening. Suspicious Stowaway could be a relevant card, But unfortunately, on the flip side, it is not a human werewolf. It's just a werewolf. I don't know why you lose the human part of being a werewolf. It's not like it becomes a dog werewolf or something. So yeah, we can't do that. Gala Greeter is not human, I think. Yeah, it's 2 drops. 2 drops here. You can see there is no Gala Greeter. It goes to Reclusive Taxidermist. And the Civic Gardener. Yeah, there's no humans. Gala Greeter here. The Civic Gardener is an interesting inclusion because it's pseudo ramp, but I think Catilda is good enough ramp for a deck that's already filled with ramps. The biggest thing we probably will have to do is get rid of those big drops like Shieldred. Shieldred really is what killed us last game. And getting rid of Shieldred in this kind of color combo is hard. Alright, and there's no bent removal very easily on Shieldred. There is a call for Denick to get Lifelink. Lifelink is pretty useful in the deck. And there's also a call for this lady right here. This lady right here. Sigarda, Champion of Light. It is a human sort of a pump, but the problem is she's not a human, so she does not get any of our human effects. There is a call for that, and I think... let's try it. I think Sigarda is right. I don't think running any more of the Sathriel is good, other than 1, just to cancel all the mono blue decks. Outside of that, there's not really that big of a reason to play it. We don't have any lifelinks in the deck. You know, we could put a Shauna in there instead of maybe King Darien or maybe 1 Adeline. There is not enough lifelink, so that is a problem. If we go down in life, we kind of just are waiting for our later ways to help us gain life, but I think that's what we're going to try for now. So I took out 2 drops to add in 2 more 4 drops. The problem with that now is we increase our curve. Someone is racing outside. Increasing the curve may not necessarily always be a bad thing, but it could also be very tough to get around if our opponent is hasty. And we're going second. Alright, so I'm going to keep because I have 2 Catilda and a Mirror Box, but going second is tricky. Of course, as soon as I keep, our opponent's playing red. Our Catilda's probably going to die as soon as it drops. Bloodthirsty Adversaries. This for 2. Good job. We'll play our Catilda. Let's see if he's got a removal. If he doesn't have a removal, I'm not even sure what I do next. Because I can play King Darien and keep Catilda up as a blocker. Well, he's probably just going to remove it. Oh, he's attacking. Does he know our protection from werewolves? Is that not a, it's a vampire? Oh, it's protection from werewolves, not werewolves and vampires. I mean, yeah, there's definitely that. King Darien. I mean, if his hand is full of removals, I don't know how we can get out of that anyways. Whenever it attacks, target creature defending players with power less than Radhog can block. Okay. Does not have haste. Does stop me from blocking. Alright, I have... If I pick a Tilda, I'll have 3 more mana. Which means that I can use it to exile his Radhog. Which is very good for us. Now we gotta pay the friggin' life for that. Take that out. Should we take our own Catilda? No, we'll just sit here and wait. He's only got 2 lands. Can't have too much damage output over there. We'll take the 2 damage. Things about to get scary for my boy over here. Agmar. Of course, well, kill that, I don't have my mana production. So we're gonna have to slow roll this. Alright, so we can pay 5 to just generate a 2/2. We are just gonna slow roll this, because if I play on a mirror box, I can play King Darien next turn. But if I draw a land, I could just do both of these in one turn anyways. And I have 5 mana, I think it's better to fill out the 5 mana with putting up some counter on this King Darien right here. He's got 3 mana now. Maybe he's got a play. Stormseeker. I wonder if he knows what he's doing. Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, here is. I wonder if my opponent's just gonna quit. Does he even read cards? Maybe he just wants to have the Reckless Stormseeker out. Alright, if that's the case, let's get a bigger board out. You gonna block there? With your 2/3? Probably not, right? Here comes Raging Raiju. Or Thundering Raiju. Raging Raiju. I mean, it might look like a good play, but I'm still in a commanding lead with this board. Unless you can kill me this turn. This backswing is more than 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What's your play? Okay. This just looks kind of dumb. Do I even want to block? It takes... I mean, I take 7 if I don't block. What if I don't block? What was your plan anyways? Mono red players can't do basic math, so yeah, there's that. I mean, you can say play to your outs, but that's not really an out. Maybe he was hoping that I just block? I don't know. Anyways, so that's the game that, you know, I played 3 games, I only won 1. It's definitely a disheartening initial look. I'm not gonna keep playing since, you know, I already finished the quest, but or keep playing today at the very least. I do think, you know, there are some fine-tuning necessary. King Darien is a very good card, but if early game you don't get out the tokens, King Darien doesn't have the second ability trigger, or I guess the third ability trigger that often. So that there's a question to that. But the problem isn't lying in that, right? The problem really lies in whether or not the mana base is correct. Because I add blue in for Lagrella and Malevolent Hermit, but is that really necessary? They really haven't performed the way that I thought they would, and there is a question to making this purely Selenya, and you know that's something for another day. Thank you very much for joining me. See you guys next time.